The Lord is good. And all the time. Now, there was this man who was very rich. Very, very rich. What Nigerians will say, stinkingly rich or bastardly rich. I don't know what it means to be bastardly rich or stinkingly rich. But anyhow, this man was rich. Now, but on top of his wealth, he was very greedy and stingy, even to his own self. He was so rich that whenever he fell sick, to go to a hospital becomes a problem. He doesn't even believe in banks because he thinks that when you put your money in the bank, one day the money will disappear. So he was storing his money and keeping his money in his own house. Now one day he fell sick and locked, of course, the place where he was keeping the money in the safe, and then held the key and held it very tight. Even to go and ease himself, he held the key. He didn't want to give it to anybody. Now, his wife told him, get this key so we can take money and take it to the hospital. He said, no, I will pray and I will recover. And then when he knew that it was getting critical and that he would die, he decided to play a smart one. He told his wife, if I die, my money, put them in an envelope and put it inside the coffin when I will be buried. I will be needing it to the other side. The wife said, really? He said, yes. He said, okay. A few days later, he died. When he died, somebody who was holding the key so tight now held it open this way. The wife collected the key. And after the funeral and everything, they got him buried. And the woman got envelopes, as he said, did as he instructed, and put envelopes round his body inside the coffin, and he was buried. Because people heard about his wishes, and his will rather. And then when he was buried, one of the friends of the woman told her, Madam, are you mad? How can you bury this man with money? Don't you know what you have done? The woman said, me, you think I'm crazy? I wrote a check for him, Joe. Let him go to the other side and cash it. Now, I don't know what tribe this man belongs to. In any case, he died and he didn't die. Wasn't buried with the money. The woman kept the money and then they spent it. But what is this showing us? Somehow it shows us the kind of attachment we have for money. Sometimes we are so money conscious, we are so wealth conscious that we forget the necessary things in life. There are people, I notice somebody made a kind of research. Most of those who have ulcer are not poor people. Have you noticed that? Ulcer is lack of what? Generally, there are a lot of factors. It could be stress and all those. But generally, ulcer is lack of what? Food. Most of those who have ulcer, are they poor? In reality, most of them are not poor. Most of them can feed. They can take care of themselves. But because they are pursuing money, they don't even have time to take care of themselves. The man who met in the first reading and the gospel reading, was somebody who was so rich that he thought that the world was revolving around him. And you see, how Jesus presented this parable is very interesting. This man was the only one in that parable. There was nobody with him. He alone. He has worked. He has accumulated wealth. He has grains. He's going to store it. He said, how shall I do? I will destroy. I will put up one. And I will say, my soul, make merry and enjoy. Only one man in a parable. One man, one parable. He alone. Nobody is with him. No, we didn't hear of his wife. We didn't hear of his children. An egocentric man who thinks of nothing but himself. And then he forgot that everybody on this earth will want. We are all sojourners. We are all visitors. We are all people. The world is like a market. Nobody stays in a market all through. Even those who go for night market, they will go home one day. We are all visitors. The man forgot that, and he decided that he was going to have fun. And the Lord told him, fool, tonight I will be needing your soul. Sometimes we accumulate this wealth that we are not grateful to God for what he has given to us. Rather, we become great fools. There's a difference between somebody who is grateful and somebody who is a great fool. Which one are we? Now, this man accumulated all this wealth and thought that the world revolved around him. He did not think of what life would become much later. You think of the earthly things and you forget about the spiritual things. How about my life after this earth? What becomes of me? How do we go about our pursuit of wealth? Some people can work from Monday to Monday without even having time for themselves, take care of themselves, think of their families. Now what is reigning in big cities like Abuja? What do people do? Somebody wants to work and work. No time for your wife, no time for your children. You said, we are looking for money, we are looking for money, we are looking for money. Some people will gather this money, and then when they gather the money, instead of spending it, they do not have the energy to spend it, and doctors are beginning to prescribe drugs for you. When you come to their house, I visited a certain man one day. You know the way people have bars in their house? He had a small pharmacy. This one is for which sickness? This one for... At a point, somebody told him, sir, can I come to your house and collect medicine since you have enough in your house? Because he was so busy, he had no time to take care of himself, and he just fell sick. How much do we run after wealth?